Now, the always fashionable Patrick Little. Pat.
All right, thanks, Ben, with Jaime D'Oliveira from Red Stripe Narragansett. Good morning. Good to see you again, buddy.
Nice to see you.
All right, this is a lot of food here. This is like a keg of soup, a loaf of bread, and a lot of this. So what are you cooking up this morning?
Roasted tomato soup with grilled cheese, one of the classic dishes at Red Stripe. It's getting into that comfort season now.
Eat a lot of food, lay around on the couch after.
Yeah,
lay horizontal there after
put all the
food coma.
Put all the comfort food back on for the fall and winter.
So now this isn't like the grilled cheese that I cook
It's not
at
the
home.
traditional grilled cheese. No, this is interesting. My grandmother would always put apples or pears with grilled cheese.
Wow.
So I've kind of twisted a little bit with the ham and cheese. I've used prosciutto, a little pesto, poached some pears in wine.
Wow.
You know, thick slice.
Big,
almond bread.
Yeah, like French toast size.
Yeah, the big inch slice, slice
right?
bread, yep.
Nice. And the soup is tomato, right?
Yeah, roasted tomato, has carrot, celery, a little fennel, a little vinegar, a little sherry.
Wow, you got a little bit of everything here.
This is
the Rolls Royce of grilled cheeses right here this morning. So we're going to cook this up, continue to cook in our next segment. You can find the ingredients and recipe, as always, online at foxprovidence.com. Much more from the kitchen in a bit, but for now, back over to you.
In the kitchen now making my favorite soup, tomato soup. How's it going?
I did not know it was your favorite, Mel. Well, I tell you what, I love me a grilled cheese, so she and I make a good pair. What I think is really interesting is, speaking of pairs, there's one on this sandwich, and I know how to poach an egg. I do not know how to poach a pear. Is it the same process?
No, a little different. It's equal parts of water and red wine.
Okay.
Cinnamon stick, clove, nutmeg.
You bring it to a boil?
Bring it to a boil.
Okay.
Put the pears in and just simmer them.
Now the pear has been skinned, right?
Yes.
And I'm just going to show it right over here. This pear has been skimmed, and it's floating in the mixture that Jamie was just talking about there. What kind of pear is this? Did this start out a green pear?
Yes.
It did. Okay. And now you can see the color has changed because of that red wine. And let me see. It smells very good as well.
Matches the ring.
Yes, that's right. It does match the ring. So what are we to do with this pear after we put it in and we boil it? How long does it have to be in there for?
About an hour.
About an hour.
Yep.
Okay, so it's kind of a long process, but you think it's worth it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You think it adds some depth to the grilled cheese.
Yep.
Well, I tell you what, in just a moment we are going to use this pear and a whole lot of other ingredients to make up the delicious grilled cheese sandwich and have some tomato soup too. For now, you can find the recipe and ingredients online at foxprovidence.com. Back over to you. Now, it's not easy to do this. I'm not necessarily happy about it, but from time to time, I have to do a little quality control and taste the items before we actually go to air. And that soup is delicious. I'll tell you that right now. It has so much depth of flavor. Actually, I'm just going to turn on this fan here because we've got a little hot soup going. Tell me what's in that soup.
It's roasted tomatoes. Plum tomatoes that you roast with garlic, olive oil, salt, and pepper.
You eat. I'll do the utensils.
All right.
I'll take care of the stuff.
It has some celery, carrots, fennel, a little bit of vinegar, some sherry wine.
No wonder it's so good. Now, everyone's been pretty excited because Patrick just said, just before we came into the kitchen this morning, who would have thought that grilled cheese would have been so cool, but everybody's excited about this.
Well, you should see. Well, no, you shouldn't see. But the way I make the grilled cheese for the kids, it's it's the bread, a little butter,
and
cheese,
that's it. Bada bing,
done.
bada boom.
How boring.
Show us how you do yours.
All right.
All right, here we go.
First of all, you take a piece of bread the size of one of my children.
Right.
It's a thick piece of bread. Okay. What kind of cheese?
Bel Paese.
What was that?
Bel Paese.
Okay, and we're going to have to write that one down.
Okay. I don't have that in my kitchen.
Did he say Bill Paez?
He did. I think he
Something
works
like
here,
that.
doesn't he?
I think he does. He works he's an engineer, right?
Yeah.
We got Bill Paez. All right, a little
Prosciutto.
bit of prosciutto.
Yeah.
Okay, for the refined palate.
Roasted pear.
Roasted pear.
That is the pear that we were poaching before.
Poached in wine
and then you
with
sort
cinnamon and nutmeg and clove.
Oh, that sounds so good. All right. Then a little bit of the pesto.
Pesto.
Yes.
Presto.
Presto.
Now, what do you put in your pesto? Just because I know there are a lot of different people that have their own take on it.
Traditional garlic, basil, pine nuts, olive oil.
I like that. And then there you have your
Smush
two
it.
halves. Shmushy.
Now, do you put anything on the bread to make it look like a grilled cheese?
Oh, tons of butter.
Tons of butter. Okay. Oh, I see. You melt the butter. See, I do it the silly way. I put the butter on the knife and try and spread butter, cold butter no less,
Oh, you do?
on bread.
Doesn't
and
it rip
breaks
up the bread?
It rips the
Yeah.
bread all up. And
Jamie's
Daddy,
so cool.
Mommy
We
makes
go
the
like-
grilled cheese better than you.
you know, it's like, oh, now I know the trick.
That is the trick.
That's the trick.
Now-
You brown it on the stove, and then you have to finish it in the oven.
Okay,
just to
so it
get
gets all
complete-
melty goodness.
Gets completely warm.
Very nice.
So browning
Now,
is still okay. How
Yep.
long you want to do that for?
not too long,
Not
right?
too long, no.
Now, is this one of the dishes that is on the menu at Red Stripe?
Yeah, this is one of the, actually this went on the menu when I opened, and it's become one of the top sellers.
It has?
Yeah, and now it's the fall and the winter. It's going into the comfort season. so-
Exactly, and warming you up, especially you're down by the water, right?
Yep.
In Narragansett.
And in Providence, and I put back short ribs and shepherd's pie, some traditional comfort food.
Man.
But
Now-
this
Shepherd's
is,
pie.
this is a big seller.
The grilled cheese you said was originally something your mom.
My grandmother always used to
Grandmother.
put. She would put fruit, either apples or pears.
Kind of a sneaky way of sneaking in.
Sneaking in there, and then ham, if you were having ham and cheese. So this
Yeah.
that's kind of developed into prosciutto and pesto, and
Okay.
sometimes I use apples, sometimes pear.
I like that. And will you poach the apple when if you
Well,
use
yeah,
apples?
yeah.
Same way.
Yeah, same way. Wine and water, equal parts, with a cinnamon stick, some cloves, some nutmeg, almost like mulling cider type of.
Wow.
What else could you use a poached pear for? Could you make a dessert with it?
These are wonderful for dessert, just like this, with a little bit of ice cream or.
Warmed up? Oh my gosh, you're talking my language.
Yeah.
That sounds delish.
Should I check the freezer? See if we
Yeah,
have
can
any here?
we? We
Hold on
actually
a
may
second.
have some Newport Creamery ice cream.
There is. Look.
We do have.
What we got?
We got a little bit of ice cream. All right.
Here, vanilla ice cream.
Can you tell us a little bit more about
Dessert.
how to make the soup? I know you had some fennel and stuff, but what do you start with in order to do it?
Start with carrots, onion, celery, and fennel,
Mm-hmm.
sauteed. You roast the tomatoes.
How do you roast the tomatoes? You just do that in your oven?
Well, yep, cut them, remove the top, split them in
Okay.
half. I toss them in a bowl with olive oil, salt, and pepper, and then the cut side down.
Okay.
And then roast them in a slow oven.
For how long?
A couple of hours.
Okay.
And then
a low temperature?
Yeah, low temperature, 250, 225, and then puree them.
It all goes into a
It
blender.
all goes into a blender,
Mm-hmm.
and it's pureed. And then you finish it with salt, pepper, a little bit of vinegar, some sherry wine, and then there's a little bit of cream added,
Just a touch.
just a touch.
I like that.
You know what I want to do right now?
Yeah.
I want to eat and go lay down.
All right. Well, look at this. We have you all set up here. Now, Jamie, I think
Yep.
we're just about done. I know we have a
Yep.
couple in the oven. Can we get one for Patrick in the oven, and I'll get him a bowl of soup?
Okay.
How about that?
Red Stripe, Narragansett, Providence. Recipe online, foxprovidence.com. We're going to eat this comfort food. We could have used this hot soup this morning, Michelle.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was a